Amazon's back in the news, but I just want to give you a little refresher. I know, right? Give you a little refresher. This is from 2016, this article. It says, report Amazon stranglehold, how the company's tightening grip on the economy is stifling competition, eroding jobs, and threatening communities. It sounds bad, but on the other hand, I can get a Chinese dildo in under 2 hours. You know what I mean? I mean, that's my kind of dim sum. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So, did you know that half of all U.S. households are subscribed to the membership of Amazon Prime? Yeah, half of all online shopping searches start directly at Amazon. Amazon captures nearly 1 in every $2 that America spends online. Why? It's kind of why. Amazon's increasingly controls the underlying infrastructure of our economy. Amazon's increasing dominance comes with high costs. It's eroding opportunity and fueling inequality, and it's concentrating power in ways that endanger competition, community life, and democracy. I have a hard time seeing the company as anything less than a new wave of economic dislocation, on par with the earlier collapse of manufacturing and small businesses that devastated so many regions of the country. For instance, so you know what they do, right? So Amazon can actually operate at a loss, which is how they put Borders out of business, right? So they sold books at a loss for a while until they put Borders out of business, and then they did the same thing with Zappos shoes. They did the same thing with that diaper service. They do it with everybody. How can you compete with a company that doesn't have to make a profit? You fucking can't do it, but Bezos has figured out this way to do it, to operate at a loss. For instance, here's some of the good jobs they get rid of. UPS and the Postal Service must now compete with Amazon, which is developing alternative delivery methods. The company's low-wage, precarious labor model threatens the jobs of nearly 1 million unionized, middle-income workers at UPS and the U.S. Postal Service. By the way, here it is. Los Angeles Times. Amazon will open 3 more. So it shuts down your store and gets rid of now we're going to be a bookstore. There they are. They're opening brick-and-mortar bookstores, right? And by the way, this is from 2016. Net loss of jobs since Amazon's opened. 148,000 net loss. That's up 2015. That's 4 years later. It's got to be way more than that. So they're not creating jobs. They're creating shit jobs and getting rid of good jobs. And there's even less shit jobs than there were the good jobs. Okay. And the company has gotten at least $613 million in tax subsidies since 2005 to fucking do this to us. Isn't that something? Yeah. So by the way, then they bought Whole Foods, right? And this is what they said at the time. They bought Whole Foods, was it last year or 2 years ago? And this is what they said at the time. The grocery stocks are down on Friday, but they shouldn't be the only companies trembling. Google, Apple, and even Uber are threatened by Amazon's growing hold over e-commerce, media, and same-day home delivery. In short, Jeff Bezos wants to take over the world, and this is a very significant step in that direction. Okay, so you see the world we're living in, all right? Okay, this is happening. And he's now going to open grocery stores. They got a new one. Here it comes.
Amazon is betting big. Once again, the tech giant just announced they're opening up their first physical grocery store, and it's right here in SoCal. The market will open up in Woodland Hills next year. The store will be branded differently than Whole Foods, which Amazon bought for over $13 billion 2 years ago.
Yeah, they don't plan on competing with Whole Foods, because organized duopolies give people a delusion there's a choice. Anyway, back to you. Now here's Bob with the sports.
Expected to be more mainstream, while Whole Foods will remain more high-end. Job openings at this market were recently posted online.
Yeah, so Jeff Bezos now he runs the food. He's gonna have all the food. He runs distribution of everything. He runs online commerce, and he owns the newspaper. All he needs to do to figure out a way to control our water supply, and he could become fucking emperor. That's all he needs.
He already has.
This is what's that?
He already has cloud computing, which is used for everything.
Okay, so I have to update that joke.
Yeah.
Because my goddamn audience is a little too smart for a comedy club. See, the beauty of doing this show, for years I was just a regular stand-up comic, and I would get heckled like, fuck you, you dick, you suck. And now I get, actually, Jimmy, the cloud computing Point of order, Jim, but because of cloud computing,
Ice is gonna melt.
Ice is gonna melt. It's a different kind of heckle. So here's what Dylan Ratigan has to say about it.
The real
Now, you know Dylan Ratigan, right? Yeah. He told the truth about the banks on MSNBC. Now he has to do a news report from a lake. Now we go to Dylan Ratigan, fresh on a fishing dock.
The real issue in America is the concentration of resources in an incredibly small number of hands, whether it's Google and Facebook, whether it's the two political parties in our political system, or whether it's what's happening with Amazon, a beautiful vision, an incredible executive, an incredible company.
Why does he got to do? I don't. You know why he's got to do that? Because he's standing on Amazon Lake. That's why he's there. Okay.
But a disastrous effect on our society as we're seeing the complete concentration of power, and as a result, the destruction of the ability for a truly competitive capitalist environment. So while it is impressive to see, and I have incredible respect for Jeff Bezos and what he has done, it is a total abdication of the authority of the antitrust commissions in this country to allow this level of consolidation of power to continue, and it's reflected not only in our politics, but as we saw with the Amazon deal, in our business.
So we're living in the Gilded Age. We're supposed to have a Teddy Roosevelt come along and break it up, but instead we get the first black president to come by and say, quit fucking bitching. You can't do big things. Accept the system, shut the fuck up. That's what's happening right now. We're gonna get to that later.
And you know, Jimmy, I know this isn't very PC, but am I the only one in the room that wants to burn Amazon to the ground?
Yeah, Steph. That's such a bad metaphor. Because the Amazon is. You know, I wonder, so now that Jeff Bezos owns all the food stores, whatever, I wonder if he'll do what Trader Joe's does and they try to name everything after themselves, right? Like, enjoy these Amazon apples. Today's special is Bezos beignets with some of Jeff's jelly. Come see our live show. We're going to be in Honolulu on December 27th. We'll be in Portland, Oregon, and then we go to Tempe, Arizona, San Jose, California, Sacramento, Miami. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our live shows coming to a town near you, and become a patron or support the Jimmy Dore Show. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com, become a premium member. Thanks for your support.